Jessica?
Yeah, so my name is Jessica Stalker. It's great to meet everyone via webcam. I am a real estate agent in Beverly Hills. So I've worked in real estate for 5 years, and I actually became kind of like a real estate agent in Decentraland, which is a decentralized metaverse back in 2020. So that was 2 years ago. And I've been following real estate in the metaverse and the evolution of it for probably like 3, 4 years.
Are you from California?
No, I'm originally from Oregon. So I moved here and started in real estate when I was 20 or 19
We're in Oregon.
and from Salem.
I like Oregon.
Not Salem, Massachusetts. Everyone thinks like, oh, where the witches are from. That's Massachusetts. I'm from Salem, Oregon. I know not many people know that. It's actually the capital of Oregon.
We're learning a lot so
Portland.
far. Portland is not the capital. Portland.
It's not. Contrary to popular belief, it's actually Salem.
Well, people need to stay out of Portland anyway.
People need
Okay.
to stay out of Portland.
Yes, for many reasons.
Portland's a bit weird. Sorry.
Portland. Oh, yes. Okay, so what in the hell is the metaverse? Let's just start there.
Okay, so when I read that question, there's so many different definitions right now, and I'm going to start with where the word originated and what it actually means.
Snow
So
crash.
it originated, yes, 1992, Neil Stephenson. So in that book, the metaverse is basically, to simplify it, a decentralized digital world where people go to escape reality and they can interact with other avatars and live another life in the digital world. So I would say the definition is a 3D immersive world where you can go in and interact with other avatars in a decentralized digital world. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, it makes perfect sense. So you need VR, I'm taking it, to do this?
That's where it gets weird. So we actually don't have VR headsets hooked up to the metaverse yet because we're in such our infancy phase right now. So when you go onto like Decentraland and Sandbox, it does look 3D. So it's not like you're on a web browser. It does look 3D. It's a world where your avatar can walk around and things are like kind of like 3D pixelated. However, you cannot hook up an Oculus or a VR headset as of now to the software that they've created the metaverse on. That's in a couple years from now. But as of now, you can't do that. So the Oculus has a headset where you can go in and that's actually a 3D world, but it's not a metaverse because you can't interact with other avatars yet. It's not an actual world. It's like a simulated environment that you can go into that's like pre-programmed. But we're going to get into a simulated world that's live and we can interact with other avatars and hook it up to something like our computer or our phone.
Okay, so it's basically just on a computer at this point.
Yes.
So it's like
It's basically on a computer and you can't hook it up to a VR headset right now.
Well, I saw one of your stories, like you were making your avatar.
Yeah, okay. So my friend owns this company and he basically made a bunch of different put a bunch of different cameras together. He made it himself and he can do 3D renderings of physical items. So he takes physical items like let's say like whatever this and digitizes them. So puts them into a virtual world. However, it is a little misleading because you can't actually put my avatar right now into the metaverse. That's not a thing.
When will that happen?
So you can make a 3D rendering of me, but there's no metaverse that allows you to bring that in as of now.
When will that happen?
I mean, I wish I had like a
Crystal
future
ball?
prediction of that, but
Sure.
yeah, I was going to say a time machine, but I would probably say, in my prediction, I'd probably say 3-4 years. I would give
Really?
it until we can actually, yeah, I mean, it's happening very quickly. Like now that these bigger corporations know what a metaverse is and they're starting to wrap their brain around it, they can now take their software engineers and people that specialize in this stuff and bring them together with the 3D renderings and figure out a way. Like it's not going to be that hard. It's just they haven't they haven't even understood the concept yet in order to create it. So now that's the first step, is understanding what it is they're going to create and then putting the people together to create it, which is what we're getting into right now.
Got it. What Microsoft just bought Call of Duty and Candy Crush for 70 billion to get into the metaverse. So I mean, there's
it's like Activision Blizzard.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's like, this is the first step. Bigger corporations that have like a bigger physical presence, like in the real world, taking on these digital games and these people that have big presences in the digital world. So we're now colliding those two, and that's what's going to really evolutionize and bring the metaverse to life, is you have the physical corporations and the digital corporations, and they're coming together. How can we make Nike in the digital world? How can we make a Nike storefront and allow people to walk around and shop in Nike in the digital world? And we need the gamers for that. We need the gamers to come in and bring it to the corporations.
Are you a gamer?
No.
How did you get introduced to the metaverse?
So one of my friends was actually an early investor in Decentraland, and I thought it was the craziest thing ever. I was like, it's not a video game. It's a virtual world where people are going to be buying storefronts. And then I was like, are they going to live in them? What are they going to do in these storefronts? And when I started to realize, my friend was explaining, he's like, imagine Nike buying a storefront parcel, and instead of you going on your web browser, shopping on Nike.com or Amazon, you're now going with your avatar, and your avatar maybe gets to try stuff on, or like pick up the bag and look at it and see the 3D rendering of it and put it in your shopping cart and get it sent to your actual house. So I was like, oh, so it's basically like a 3D world where your avatar can go shop, and I like shopping. So that really clicked with me. I'm like, okay, there's so much potential here. Like, a corporation can have a storefront and actually sell items to you, not just having like a web browser, they can now have a storefront. And maybe like there's a mall that's 2 hours away that I always go to. Maybe if they had a 3D world, I could walk around with my avatar and it could be more immersive than just doing it in a like 2D web browser screen. So that's when it clicked that there was a lot of potential there.
Yeah, I get that, and I like that. And I was listening to another podcast or reading something, and they were like, if you say you're going on vacation and you're going to a resort, you're trying to pick between two different resorts. Like, you can go in the metaverse, you could walk around, see the room, see all that. I mean, I get all that. I understand all that. Socially, I mean, are there any concerns that you have with this?
My concern is people aren't educating themselves and they're walking in on it blindly. So when I first started in Decentraland, it was like $400 a parcel. Now it's $35,000 minimum. And there's corporations coming in.
Time out.
Yes.
What do you mean a parcel?
A parcel is another way to say land. A parcel is a block of land in the metaverse.
You have to have a block of land to get in it?
To walk around?
Yeah.
No, you don't have to have.
Can I just walk around and just cruise and just chill out, or do I have to have a parcel?
I mean, that's like you asking, can I go to Los Angeles if I don't own a house? Of course you can.
Sure.
You can come to Los Angeles. You can do whatever. You can shop here. You can do whatever.
Yeah.
When you own land here, is it more accessible to you? Of course, you own land. It's going to be different in the metaverse because you're not living in that land. But when you own a parcel of land in the metaverse, you now get to have a vote and a say in how the world is ran. Because each person that owns a parcel of land now gets to vote in the DAO. And the DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. So a decentralized
What
metaverse,
is happening right now? Keep
I'm
going.
sorry,
I love it. No, I love it. Keep going. Wait, I mean.
So a decentralized metaverse is basically a metaverse. Let's say that we don't have, who's our president? Biden. Sorry, I did not just say that. Let's say we don't have.
It's actually a valid question.
No, I was going to say Trump, and I was like, that's not it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's bleep that out.
Couple years.
Let's say that here in America, we don't have a president. We each get whoever owns a part of real estate gets to vote and gets to say how our world is ran. So that's what a decentralized metaverse is. It's ran by a DAO, a decentralized autonomous organization, which means anyone that owns a parcel of land now gets to vote in the DAO to say like the rules and the regulations and how many parcels you can own. how much the land is worth, like stuff like that. That's what you get to vote on when you own a parcel.
Got it.
Can you still walk around and interact with people in this in the city in Decentraland if you don't own a parcel? Absolutely. It's kind of like if you're not a US citizen, you can't vote, but you can still come here and like interact with people and utilize our things.
Got it. Makes sense. Questions. So who made the metaverse?
Okay, so there's different renditions of the metaverse. So like I said, it was originated by the guy Neil Stephenson in Snow Crash, the book. And then we had Second Life, which was kind of the first metaverse, even though it wasn't like a decentralized organization. It was run by the founder. So I would say the first true metaverse, and people may argue, but I would say the first true metaverse, which means decentralized and a 3D environment, would be Decentraland. Because Decentraland is the first kind of like decentralized virtual reality that would be considered the first metaverse, in my opinion.
Okay, who made it?
And that was created in 2017. So that was created by two guys. These two guys in Argentina. And what they did is they created it. They created the DAO, right? So once you create the metaverse and you create the DAO, they then stepped away. So they did a land sale. They sold all the land. And now the people that own the land control the metaverse. And they stepped away. And they actually are doing a new project with Big Time Rush, which is like this huge like video game company.
Where does the money go?
Okay, so that's a bit confusing. It goes into the DAO. And it's basically, it's hard to explain, but the money goes into the DAO and that's then controlled by, okay, when the owner sells it, it goes to him, right? So the owner sells the land, the founder of the metaverse sells the land, it goes to him, right? Now the people that own the land, when they sell it, they obviously get the money that they sell, or if they keep it, all the money goes into the DAO, the Decentralized Autonomous Organization. And then the votes, the people that own land vote, and that's how it's like distributed.
Okay. Two questions. First one is, what are they voting on? And B, the money gets distributed to what? For what? More metaverse, or for like where the hell? My $35,000 parcel, what is that? Where is it going? Obviously, he's going to the DAO. Okay. I get that, but let me retract. What are we voting on? Let's start there.
Okay, so we're in our infancy stage, so let's not pretend like this is a whole world that's already been created.
Got it.
We don't know exactly what we're voting on, but we are voting on. Let's say someone wants to increase, because there's a limited amount of parcels. There's 90,000 parcels in Decentraland. Let's say you want to increase that amount. You can then vote in the DAO to say, I think we should create another 20,000 parcels here in Decentraland. You would then vote on that. So There's no like rules and regulations as far as like, let's vote to not have traffic lights, or let's vote to never have coffee shops. There's nothing like that. It's more so expanding the world. You can vote to like, okay, I want this to happen, but then people have to vote into that as well. They have to agree with you. But there's not like, it's not ran by rules and regulations right now. Let's just put that simply. There's not like, it's not a world where people are interacting with other people and there's a lot of different avatars and they're voting on rules and regulations. It's more so, can we build more land? Like that would be the biggest thing they would like vote on right now.
Did you know that browsing online using incognito mode doesn't actually protect your privacy? That's right. Without added security, you might as well give away all your private data to hackers, advertisers, your ISP, and other prying eyes. That's why I use IPVanish VPN to make it easy to stay truly private and secure on the internet. IPVanish helps you safely browse the internet by encrypting 100% of your data. This means that your private details, passwords, communications, browsing history, and more will be completely shielded from falling into the wrong hands. IPVanish makes you virtually invisible online. You can use IPVanish on unlimited devices without sacrificing on speed. Your computers, tablets, phones, even devices like your Fire Stick when you're streaming media. Whether I'm at home or in public, I don't go online anymore without using IPVanish. IPVanish is offering an incredible 70% off their yearly plan for our listeners with a 30-day money-back guarantee. That's just like getting 9 months for free. Stop sharing with the world everything you stream, everything you search for, and everything you buy. Take your privacy back today with a brand rated 4.6 out of 5 on Trustpilot. Just go to ipvanish.com/Cutler and use promotional code Cutler and claim your 70% savings. That's ipvanish.com/Cutler. So, I mean, so there's 90,000 parcels, what you said, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's probably people that own multiple parcels. Do you have parcels?
No, I sold mine. Probably shouldn't have, but it's okay.
Did you make
I'll tell
money?
you why I sold mine later.
Well, you can tell me now.
I made money, yeah.
Why'd you sell it?
Oh, well, I personally don't think Decentraland is going to be here in 10 years from now or 15 years. I don't think it's going to be the dominator in this space. So I don't think it's safe to invest into one metaverse in particular. Because we're kind of like back in the .com bubble, everyone was trying to make these businesses and these web browsers. And then we had Google that dominated everything, and Facebook and Instagram. So there's going to be people that dominate. And I personally don't think the people that are going to dominate are here yet. So I'm sticking to betting on the concept, but not a singular metaverse.
How many metaverses are there?
There's like 5 main ones right now, but there's metaverses that are created like every day. Like there's a lot of different up and coming metaverses.
What's the new up and comer?
I mean, I honestly don't follow every single metaverse that's up and coming, like I said, because we're in our infancy stage. If you follow every single one, like we're at the point now where everyone's trying to do something, but nobody actually is doing the research on like how to actually make it successful or what they're actually making. So I think it's going to be 2 years until a big company understands how to create a decentralized autonomous organization that is a lifelike metaverse, because the graphics are not there right now. So all the metaverses that are coming out, like the graphics are like Minecraft.
So I mean, it's literally like Sim City on the computer when I used to play as a kid, and Minecraft.
It's not even as good as that. Like the graphics are terrible.
Then why why are billions of dollars going into this?
I'll tell you my opinion, and this isn't a fact, but I personally don't think the corporations, I don't even think some of these corporations that are buying like storefronts like Nike and Adidas and Bud Light is opening up a beer tavern. I personally don't even think they're going into Decentraland to understand that, first of all, there's only 1,000 like daily users, which why would you pay $2 million if there's only 1,000 people there every day? And second of all, they don't understand that the graphics and the foundation of Decentraland is not there. Like they have the game lovers and the tech lovers. They don't have the everyday person. In order to get the everyday person, you need to make it feel lifelike, because in order for me to choose to meet you for a coffee in the metaverse, it needs to feel more lifelike, not than the physical world, but more lifelike than sitting next to a Minecraft avatar. And I think they're forgetting that they're trying to market to the everyday person like the beer tavern and the Nikes, but they don't have the everyday person in there. They don't have that audience. They're marketing to people that would never use their service.
Yeah, well, I mean, do you think the everyday person, instead of going to their actual tavern, is? I mean, I get like if I'm in Nashville, you're in LA.
Yeah,
but actually, I don't get it. I retract that statement. I don't get it.
Okay.
I mean, like, why would I want to meet you for coffee in the metaverse? We're not drinking coffee. We're not.
Okay.
Like, why wouldn't why wouldn't I just like call you or FaceTime you or be like, hey, that
I was
version.
just gonna ask, do you FaceTime?
Yeah, I love FaceTime. Huge FaceTimer.
Okay. So I love FaceTime too. You like FaceTime because you're actually seeing me and you can feel like it's
Yes.
You're not actually seeing me, right? Like they've just made it to where it looks like you're actually seeing me. So when we get to that level in the metaverse, and instead of just holding me on a 2D screen, you get to sit next to me and maybe like play chess or go to a movie premiere or go to, I don't know what else you like to do, to go to a yoga session. I don't know. But
Like yoga.
I mean, I like yoga.
Yoga's great.
But when we get to that level where it feels lifelike, much like a FaceTime, that's the only other option. If I'm in Los Angeles and you're in Nashville and we want to do an activity together, instead of FaceTiming, we would then, our only other alternative option would be to go into the metaverse. And when it feels lifelike, that's when there's going to be people going in there.
Are we actually doing yoga, or is our avatar just doing yoga and we're just watching? I don't know what's happening here.
I mean,
so
again, these are all predictions because this isn't even happening yet. But I would say,
so
like,
I have my VR goggles on.
You're not going to be, I don't believe you're going to have huge VR goggles. I think like with our technology, there's going to be a company that comes out that gets you like really
sunglasses.
thin, cool looking sunglasses. Yeah, I mean, and like, I don't want to jinx this, but there may be chips that go in your head. I don't know. But you're going to put on your aviator glasses, and they're nice and thin and small. We wear them when the sun's out. It's easy. And doing yoga with those on. And yes, you're actually going to be doing yoga because your avatar in a perfect metaverse, your avatar is going to kind of be a replication of like what your body movements are. Like my prediction is that it's going to be kind of like a simulator. Like there's going to be some sort of camera on you, and whatever your movement is, your avatar is going to replicate that. So when you're doing like your yoga positions, your avatar is going to then feed from your movements in real time and put your avatar into that.
Yeah, I get it.
Does that make sense?
No, it makes total sense. Are you not worried about, a chip or something like contacts? Or maybe it's contacts. Contacts might work.
I think it'll be contacts, yeah.
But I mean, does like having a chip or something like that, that doesn't concern you of maybe anything?
I mean, it concerns me that people aren't staying up to date and educated because, like I said, going into something blindly scares me more than being educated on how to move forward in the best way possible. And we could say the same thing about like TikTok and Instagram and like even watching movies. Like these are all forms of escaping reality. Like you do realize the amount of time people are spending on Instagram nowadays and TikTok scrolling for 5 hours. They just escaped reality for 5 hours. Are you not scared of that? Like
yes, I am actually.
I mean, yeah, people can abuse things all the time.
Yeah.
And I think understanding that this is happening no matter what, and our technology is innovating, times are changing, we can either adapt to it and learn how to move forward in the most positive way possible, or we can stand on the sidelines blindly, not wanting to get involved because we're too scared. So if something's happening right in front of your face, instead of denying it, let's adapt to it and all stand together and be like, okay, how can we move forward with the technology changing in a positive way? Instead of being blind to it. Because like that does scare me when people are like, I don't want anything to do with it. Fuck Mark Zuckerberg. And I'm like, Mark Zuckerberg doesn't even own the metaverse. And that scares me that you even think that, because that means you're not trying to educate yourself on what's even happening. And I think that's more important than anything.
There you go.
I'm really passionate about this.
I know, I can tell. So give me, I mean, I think most people that are uneducated, I'm guessing, because I haven't spent a lot of time with this. I would say probably negative things is like you're entering this virtual world and you're ignoring, your reality. So like what are the positive movements or positive things like that the metaverse can provide that, that you see besides, shopping at Nike?
I mean, COVID proved it really well. Your grandma's in the hospital. You're not allowed to see your grandma. Like, you can now play chess with your grandma in the metaverse. You can now be like, hey, grandma, I have a concert that I'm going to attend, and it's your favorite artist. It's John Lennon. You've always wanted to see him. We can go together in the metaverse. Like, I think people are forgetting that, especially with pandemic and COVID, there were so many things we weren't able to do that something like the metaverse would now allow us to feel more connected to people that we were separated from. And not to say like we need to always use the pandemic as an excuse, but there's always going to be things happening. Like your grandma has cancer, your grandma's in Australia, can't fly. Like flights are shut down because of the pandemic, or maybe there's not a pandemic, maybe something else is going on. You can't get to your grandma who lives in Australia, and now you guys can have an immersive experience together in a digital world instead of just FaceTiming. And I think like focusing on positive things like that, like people in like developing countries that don't get education. And now we can have like maybe someone can build a school or an education system, and they can have access to that through their phones or whatever, through a cheap device that they would never have access to before. And it can feel more like a 3D experience. Like it can feel more immersive than just doing it on a 2D screen, because maybe they don't have access to that. So it's
Sure.
giving access to people that wouldn't normally have access. And I think we're very privileged sometimes, and we forget that there's not always people that have access to go to concerts, or there's not always people that have access to go to schools that they've always wanted to go to. And maybe we can replicate that in a 3D world, and that can be not reality. That can't be like a physical reality for them, but it can be the next best option.
Love it. I mean, those are really, I mean, those are great examples and positive. I have some questions regarding this. Number one, is John Lennon your favorite artist?
I don't even know who that is. I just thought he was an old person. So I was like, John Lennon.
Stop.
I'm sorry, John Lennon. I don't know. I was thinking of John Legend, but I said John Lennon. But I think he's an old artist, so maybe my grandma would like him.
I'm sure your grandma would. Now I
Exactly.
forgot. Now I forgot my other questions after that. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I mean, you list some great examples, positive examples, absolutely. Schools, senior, sick grandmother, absolutely. But I mean, there has to be a concern of people abusing it in a negative way and just spending like their entire lives on, you know, whatever that metaverse, whatever it is, instead of actually,
Yeah.
you know, going out and interacting with people. I think that's just kind of a scary concern for some people.
Yeah.
I'll ask another question. Go.
I definitely think that. And what I will say to that is, I think people assume that, like, I think you're assuming someone like you would all of a sudden stop being social, stop going out, and forget what physical touch in real life is. And you're not the type of people that I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about the people that are already staying at home and watching TV all day and don't have any friends and on their computer all day, because those are going to be the same people that are going to spend a majority of their time in the metaverse. Now, which is better, staying home and having nothing to do and sitting on your computer or on watching TV and not interacting with anyone, or spending time in a 3D world where you actually feel like you have a purpose and interaction with people, and it gives you something to kind of like live for. I mean, it's kind of like a messed up thing to say, but those people are the people that are probably going to be spending a majority of their time in the metaverse. And what's better, spending time on your computer, or maybe going into a metaverse and actually feeling like you have human interaction in a weird, messed up way? Like maybe that's where you feel loved. Maybe that's where you feel like you have a purpose. So in a weird way, it may give them something to like look forward to.
I mean, you just spun the shit out of that one, didn't you? Well,
Yeah, I like
what
that.
what about? I mean, kids growing up with this, and this is kind of the 10 years from now, like 5-year-olds growing up with this, and this is kind of the only thing that they know.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not someone that claims that the metaverse is my favorite thing. I actually try, like, I turn all my social media apps like on mute. I try to not go on them more than a couple hours a day, which, I mean, we do a lot on social media, so it's hard, but
Sure.
I'm not a huge fan of social media. I'm not a huge fan of spending a lot of time in a virtual world. The only reason that I ever try to defend the metaverse or try to spin it in a positive way is because when I think something is happening, no matter what, I like to adapt to it and learn how to teach people how to benefit in a positive way from it. Because
Yeah.
I don't want to go into something scared. That's never going to benefit us. However, do I have some concerns for kids growing up where it's normalized to spend X amount of time in a digital world? Of course, I have concerns for that. Like, I have concerns for the next generation right now spending so much time on TikTok and Instagram. Like, that concerns me.
Yeah.
It definitely concerns me. However, it's not for us to sit here and judge, because maybe our grandparents judge us for things that we do. Maybe they judge us that we're having an interview right now online and like we've never even met in person. So we can always like judge and look down and be like, oh, I'm scared for the next generation. But like, we got to give them some freedom to do it in the way that they want to do it and find their purpose and find their way of doing it. And we didn't grow up in that era, so we don't know what that's like. But I think instead of like being scared for them, let's learn somehow how to like maybe set limits and have some sort of like organizations in the metaverse that like restrict your time or have like mindfulness and meditation and things that maybe can uplift it and make it more of a positive spin. I don't think we can necessarily control the narrative for the next generation, but we can implement positive things in it. But with that being said, I definitely am. I'm concerned in a way where it's the unknown, and I don't know how people are going to potentially abuse it. That does concern me, but we can't necessarily control that in the long term. How someone is using something, besides our own kids and having an influence on the people that we know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well said. I mean, the problem with it, it's money, so like it's going to be abused in that regard, and there's going to be, they're going to create, situations for people to be in it longer and buy more and do all the things. I was reading something about a casino going in one, and there's actually like real people. I think did you post about that? Yeah.
Yeah, Tominia Casino in Decentraland. So they actually were kind of like the first metaverse to merge the physical world with the digital world, where they gave real people opportunities to work in the digital world.
How?
So
I don't even understand that. That blows my mind. Like, how does that even happen?
I mean, think about when you go to Vegas. One of the perks of like betting at a table is like, what are they called? Not the host, but the person that deals the deck, like the dealer. Like you get to like
they call him the dealer.
Or whatever. But yeah, the dealer. You get to like banter with her and flirt with her, and maybe she's kind of cute. Actually, they're kind of old in Vegas.
Yeah.
But like maybe she's kind of cute. Whatever. You're flirting, you're bantering, you're getting that human interaction. So
I got a hot dealer. Got it.
Yeah, it's fun to bet, but like outside of it being fun to bet, it's also fun to have the human interaction and the human banter. And they're now bringing that in the digital world. So when you walk into Tominia Casino, the avatar, there's a real person controlling the avatar. So instead of like a pre-programmed bot that answers your questions, you're going to be like, hey, like what's there to do for fun? Like what's the minimum on the blackjack table? And she was like, you know what? The minimum is 200, but like maybe if you don't have as much to spend, we can go to the poker table, like blah, 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 like talk to you and banter with you instead of just having like pre-programmed answers for you. So it feels more lifelike. You feel like you're actually having a human interaction, which I think is cool because you don't always get that when you're in like video games, like, or you go to like whatever, you're going and you're doing these activities in a video game. The person behind the, the bar or whatever isn't always a real person. So it's not a real interaction, but now it can kind of feel more lifelike, like a more human interaction.
So it's still an avatar. It's just controlled by a person.
Right.
So they're just creating jobs. It's a casino controlled by people. They got jobs. It's just you're an avatar. Your job is to be a casino dealer avatar.
A host.
Or
not a dealer, a host. They just have hosts right now.
But I mean, I'm sure they're probably going to get. They're probably sure they're going to get to that dealer point.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sure.
So like these people can just do this from home. I take it.
Yeah. And I don't want to get into this too much, but it does give, because you do get like $500 every 2 weeks or something. So it's not as much here, but
to be a host.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Not $500. 500 of their token. So it depends on like what their token is worth. It's it's volatile. So 500 of their DGI. I think that's what their token is called. Not $500. I'm not sure how much that is in dollars. But with our minimum wage, let's say it's a couple hundred. With our minimum wage, maybe it's not something we would do, but in developing countries where the minimum wage is literally like a couple dollars, maybe that is something that's a better alternative for them than making a couple dollars. Like they can make more money being a digital host and getting to interact with people instead of the other jobs that they've been doing. So it does allow for people in other places that don't make as much to have a chance to make money, and it's not hard. Like they're just a host in Tominia Casino.
So positive.
Uncut with Jay Cutler is brought to you by Progressive. Progressive helps you get a great rate on car insurance, even if it's not with them. They have this nifty comparison tool that puts rates side by side, so you choose a rate and coverages that work for you. Say you're interested in lowering your rate on your car insurance, visit progressive.com to get a quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's rate, and then their tool will provide options from other companies, all lined up and easy to compare. So that all you have to do is choose the rate and coverages you like. Progressive gives you options so you can make the best choice for you. You could be looking forward to saving money in the near future. More money for, say, a pair of noise-canceling headphones, an Instapot, more puzzles, whatever brings you joy. Get a quote today at progressive.com. It's one small step you can do today that can make a big impact on your budget tomorrow. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
So, you said, 90,000 parcels, they're going for 35K. So, I mean, in your world going forward, there has to be, for let's say in some third world country, for them to be on this, there has to be some sort of metaverse that has to be created that are damn near free.
Yeah, Decentraland is free. You just create an avatar. You don't need to, in order to work there, you don't need to own a parcel.
Oh, so you can just work there?
Yeah.
Gosh. Do you think it ever gets? Do you think it ever gets to a place like where there's certain parts, there's certain there'll be a golf club or some sort of membership thing in the metaverse that you can't touch?
100%.
Jeez.
The options are unlimited. Anything that's in the physical world can now be in the digital world, now that we're making a 3D immersive experience. So there's going to be things that are open to the public that people in developing countries can benefit from. And there's going to be, of course, higher barrier to entry things that only people that have excess amount of money are going to be able to enjoy.
I was sent an article this morning from a guy that works with this. Did you see that I think it was New York Times. A lady said she got groped in the metaverse.
This is not funny. I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh. It's not funny. No, you know what?
It's not funny, but you got in trouble?
I got in trouble.
You groped somebody?
Posting that, so.
Oh, you posted it?
No, I got in trouble for posting that because I posted it on TikTok and Instagram, and I'm like, okay, I shouldn't be posting things because I have a image. So I shouldn't be posting stuff like that. But yeah, there definitely is a concern. I saw that as one of your questions. There definitely is a concern because there isn't rules and regulations. So there can be things that happen.
Because there's no laws, I take it, right? You can literally do whatever you want.
No. Yeah. And there's no laws, there's abuse.
For sure. Can you, how do you grope somebody in the metaverse? Is it possible?
You know what? I posted it on TikTok
laugh.
and a lot of I know, I'm sorry. I posted it on TikTok and a lot of the comments were like, okay, she's just a sensitive girl. We as men grope each other all the time in these video games. And I was like, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
Just I'm not really sure. Like I said, I'm not a video game expert. I don't play video games. But I'm guessing that she felt like another avatar was too close and made her feel uncomfortable. And fair enough. If you feel uncomfortable, that's not okay. We shouldn't make people feel uncomfortable. It's hard to prove what the other person's objectives were. But I think if an avatar is coming too close to your other avatar and trying to whatever, it can make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, we don't want that, but like you said, aren't these little Minecraft people? Aren't they little square things walking around?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't comment on this because I'm
you don't have to. I get it. I'll move on.
I never want people to feel uncomfortable. I think
I don't want to put you. Sure, it'll get that.
I think there's going to be some people that over exaggerate?
Sure.
Yes. Do I think maybe she has a right to feel the way she feels? Because I don't know the situation. By the way, Bloomberg and New York Times blow up everything. And there's times where they have articles that I know personally, because I've experienced it, aren't true. And I'm like, because they'll write articles about Decentraland, like, oh, the plots of land are this much and you can do this and you can host this. And I'm like, you actually can't. So I know sometimes they don't know what they're talking about. So I can't always take that as a fact when I see them posting these like articles like this.
Yeah. I got two more for you, and then I'll get you out of here. So how do you make money on the metaverse? How does a normal person make money? Can you make money?
Yeah. So in the beginning, when I was helping people buy parcels, it was like $400 a parcel. So like obviously everyone's making money because we're exponentially growing up in value. Right now the barrier to entry is pretty high, so it's hard to just like get in and like make a quick buck. But how people make money in a business in the metaverse, because I like to tell people parcels of land in the metaverse are much like physical or commercial real estate retail storefronts in the real world.
Okay.
Right. So let's say I'm your commercial real estate agent and
Okay.
you, Jay, have a business, consulting business, whatever, and you need a storefront. And I'm like, okay, this is a good storefront to have a consulting business because it's next to whatever consulting businesses need to be next to. And you then have your designers and your architects come in and redesign that. It's the same thing in the metaverse. You buy a parcel of land in a good place where we think your business would fit. We have a software architect engineer come in.
One question. Is there a bad place in the metaverse to buy real estate?
Yeah. I mean, you want to be next to the plazas, like where there's foot traffic. You want to be next to that. You want to be next to roads because if people are walking around, they're walking on a road. Can I
buy like a farm in the metaverse? Are there farms for sale?
Okay, so parcels of land are not developed. Like when you buy a parcel of land,
I can do whatever I want?
Someone has already. Yeah, you can do whatever you want. So unless someone has already developed a farm and they sell it to you, which is pretty rare, but you're usually buying a parcel that hasn't really been developed yet, or you're buying a parcel that someone has already generated a business on.
Gotcha.
So you could buy a parcel of land and make a farm out of it.
Sure.
But the businesses, let's get to what's successful. The businesses that are successful are art galleries, casinos, and concert arenas. And this is because this is what the clientele in Decentraland does right now. You have to cater to your clientele. You can't start a consulting business in Decentraland if there's no one that would use your consulting firm.
Sure.
And like I said before, the audience is tech lovers and gamers. What do they like to do? Well, they like to gamble. They like to play games like arcade. They like to go to art galleries because NFTs, everybody and their brothers talk about NFTs. So they like to go look at the art gallery NFTs.
Do you understand NFTs?
Do I understand them?
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's utilization value to it, then I definitely understand it.
Do you buy?
If I say, hey.
Do you buy NFTs?
No.
No. Got it.
Way too oversaturated, and
Sure.
90% of them will fail in 5 years from now.
Got it.
However, there's a few of them that have utilization potential where when you own them, you now get to go to the Super Bowl or you get to use Jay's consulting firm. Like when it gives you utilization value, I think long term there's value in that.
Got it.
When it's just a kid in Ohio minting an NFT and
Sure.
selling it for $10,000, I'm sorry, you're going to be out $10,000 because that
Absolutely.
has no utilization.
Absolutely.
So I choose to focus on one thing and specialize in it, and that's real estate in the metaverse.
Gotcha.
Because I don't want to be drowned out. I want to be drowned out. I don't want to listen to any of the noise and get distracted. I have an objective and a goal.
And that's what you're doing.
It's real estate.
So are you doing real estate in real life? Can I buy
Yeah,
something
yeah,
from
I'm
you
a
in
real estate-
California? Like in the
Yeah,
real
I'm
world?
a real estate agent in Beverly Hills. Yeah,
Okay.
in the physical world.
Gotcha.
And my app is
Yeah, I was
Zillow
about
for-
that's exactly what I was asking you. So you have an app. So tell us about the app.
Yeah, the idea of it's not developed yet, it's not live, but the idea is that it's going to be a marketplace specializing in real estate in the metaverse. So
Okay.
much like Zillow. It's Zillow for the digital world.
Got it.
So right now, there's not a platform. We're valuing land in the metaverse, much like physical land in the real world, but there's no platform that specializes in the transactions of real estate in the metaverse, which is crazy to me. You have like these tech people that are selling it. They don't know how to sell. They don't know how to do pictures, videos, descriptions, much like a real estate agent does. So that's why I wanted to come in and create a platform that helps them market their properties better.
Do you want to talk about this? Are you worried about someone stealing
app?
your idea? You worried about someone stealing your idea?
No, not at all.
Perfect. Okay.
I've been involved so long and I know so many people. They can steal my idea, it's fine, but like there's going to be so many renditions of this that
Yeah.
it's like you have to really know what you're doing in order to make it successful.
So yours is just going to be the best. That's what you're saying.
I mean, I can't guarantee, but I know a lot about the metaverse and I have experienced it firsthand, which is where the idea of this app even came from.
Yeah.
So I think when you experience
I think it's a
something
great idea.
firsthand and you know, yeah, when you know the reason behind it,
Yeah.
it's hard to replicate the founder's vision when the founder experienced it themselves.
I think it's yeah. I mean, if this is going where you say it's going, it's a great idea.
Yeah, it really is.
So are you gambling real money in these casinos? Like if
Yeah.
you're my host and we're playing blackjack and I win, $5,000, that's can be real money. Or well, I guess it's whatever coin that they're using. That's how it goes now.
Yeah. I can't remember the coin. I think it's like a DGI coin. But yeah, you win in tokens and then you can convert it to US currency depending on what that token is valued at.
Got it. Well,
But yes, it's real.
I'm not sure what just happened for the last 45 minutes. How long was it? But it was
Really? I didn't teach you anything? That's
No,
not good. If I didn't teach you
No,
anything.
you taught me a lot. Yeah, actually, you taught me a shit ton. It's just I need to process this for a little bit.
Can I say one more thing?
You can say as many things as you want. Go.
So anything that you do right now
Mm-hmm.
on the internet, watch YouTube, I don't know, go on dating apps, whatever you do online right now,
Mm-hmm.
you can now do in a 3D world. It's as simple as that. Everything that you're already doing, you can do it in a more immersive 3D world. It's
Got it.
just as simple as that. There doesn't need to be any more like questions beyond that. You can ask questions, but try not to confuse yourself too much. Try to just think of it as you're jumping into the internet and you're walking around and you're going to Amazon and you're like, oh, I need toilet paper. Oh, I need a toothbrush. And then you're jumping into the dating site. I don't know. Maybe there's some people that like want to meet in like instead of just like being scrolling on the dating site, like maybe there's like live avatars that like oh, she's kind of cute. Like, what does she look like in real life? Like, let's FaceTime.
Wait, so you're meeting your avatar? Like you better have a cute avatar, I suppose.
Well, your avatar better look like you. It's like Instagram. They don't always look like their Instagram. So it's up to you how
Great
you want to
point.
represent yourself.
Well,
No, but it's up to you how you want to represent yourself.
then your ass is gonna get catfish in the metaverse.
You get catfished in real life all the time. Like this, it just happens. Like we're gonna get catfish. Like people do that all the time. You don't look like not you, but like maybe this girl doesn't look like her. Like you don't look like your photos, and it's like, well, you're gonna find out eventually. It's not. You're gonna see her avatar, and be like, hey, like let's exchange numbers, let's like FaceTime,
Sure.
and you're gonna see
It's a great
what they
point.
look like.
Great point. Okay. This was fun. How do people follow you? Instagram, Twitter. What do you got?
Well, I have a new show coming out.
Okay, talk to me about it.
I don't know if I'm allowed. Wait, where is this going on?
On the internet.
On the metaverse? No, like on YouTube?
Yeah, we're everywhere. Podcast One, YouTube, wherever people listen to podcasts.
It's a show about.
You don't have to. It's up to
keeping
you.
up. Okay, it's just a show about keeping up with the metaverse. But they can follow me on Instagram, Jessica Stalker, and my TikTok is Metaverse Queen.
Metaverse
I love
Queen.
Oh, and my YouTube. I have a YouTube. It's also Metaverse Queen or
So
Jessica Stalker.
Okay, Jessica Stalker, Instagram, Metaverse Queen, TikTok, and YouTube. You have a show coming out about the metaverse. What's that going to be on? Not sure
As
yet?
of now, actually, I can't say because it wasn't accepted yet. But I will announce that.
Okay, that is going to be coming
They found-
soon. Did they?
Yeah, and it's like a huge like company, and they're like, "We found you on TikTok," and I'm like, "Really?"
Have you started
They wanna
filming yet
do
or
a
no?
show. Yeah, we already
You-
filmed.
Oh, perfect. You like it?
Yeah, it's so much fun. I love talking about the metaverse. Also, well, you're not
Did
in LA, but I have an NFT event I'm doing next Tuesday.
NFT event next Tuesday. Did you like? Did you like reality show? Did you like the cameras and everything?
Nah.
Yeah, it's a different experience. I know.
Yeah, it's different. I like just being me, but sometimes they want you to be different.
Yeah, they give you some cues, but I mean, it's going to help everything else you're doing, so probably worth it.
Yeah. I think I'll be pretty big as the Metaverse queen. 'Cause I'm the only female doing this, so I think I have confidence in myself.
Yeah, I think you got a lot going on. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right, that is a wrap on the Metaverse. Obviously, we learned a lot today. Metaverse is coming. If you have any questions, hit up the Metaverse Queen, Jessica Stalker on Instagram, and she will answer any and all questions you have, and she will put a positive spin on it for sure.
Yeah, I will.
Awesome, Jessica. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jay.
All right. Okay. Really not sure what just happened. We learned a lot. I'm not sure if I'm ever going to be in the Metaverse. I feel like this world is enough at this point, but that's a lie. I think that it may be if I can go to the store in the Metaverse and just kind of pick out what I need and stay at home and then it just shows up, I'm in for that. I'm never buying land, beachfront property in the Metaverse like people do. I read about people hunting in the Metaverse. That sounds ridiculous to me. I don't know, but I mean, it's happening. It's coming. People are obviously spending billions and millions of dollars on it. Jessica just told us $35,000 for a parcel. She had a lot of positive points too. Seeing your grandmother, schools. I mean, I get it. I get it, but I also don't get it. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to sit with this one for a while. We might have to revisit this in a year or so, bring her back and see what's up. But Metaverse Queen, she's doing a reality show. She's your answer for any Metaverse stuff that you have, and I'm sure people are going to have questions about this because I think I still do. But the DAO, the law, voting rights, where's the money? Where's the money? The guy that made this, he's got to be rich, right? Has to be. We didn't really find out where the money went. That's what kind of happened. But maybe maybe Cuts goes into the Metaverse and you can go and you can see the cow that you're going to get and we just kill it in the Metaverse and then send it to you. I don't know. Oh gosh. Okay. We're done here. All right. Hit me up on anything. Anything but Metaverse. Guests, we've got some good ones coming up. Instagram, Twitter. Not sure what happened, but hope you like this one. Thank you.